Pruthu. Vimunchati returns. Samaha equal. Sarveshu to all. Bhuteshu living entities. Pratapan shining. Suryavat like the sun god. Vibhuhu powerful. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. This King Pruthu, no, I'll read. This King Pruthu will be as powerful as the sun god. And just as the sun god equally distributes his sunshine to everyone, King Pruthu will distribute his mercy equally. Similarly, just as the sun god evaporates water for 8 months and during the rainy season returns it profusely, this king will also exact taxes from the citizens and return these monies in times of need. Purport. The process of tax exaction is very nicely explained in this verse. Tax exaction is not meant for the sense ratification of the so-called administrative heads. Tax revenues should be distributed to the citizens in times of need. During emergencies such as famine or flood, tax revenues should never be distributed amongst government servants in the form of high salaries and various other allowances. In Kali Yuga, however, the position of the citizens is very horrible because taxes are exacted in so many forms and are spent for the personal comforts of the administrators. The example of the sun in this verse is very appropriate. The sun is many millions of miles away from the earth, and although the sun does not actually touch the earth, it manages to distribute land all over the planet by exacting water from the oceans and seas. And it also manages to make that land fertile by distributing water during the rainy seasons. As an ideal king, King Pruthu would execute all this business in the village and state as expertly as the sun. Om Jnanatimmirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Hutapadakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sarivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakhan Nitamscha Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pacharane Nirvishesha Shunnyavadi Paschatya Deshatarane Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratase Namaha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vandavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriya Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Bhavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Mukam Gurdevacharlam Pangum Langete Gram Yatkrapatamaham Vande Shri Guru Dina Taranam Paramananda Madhavam Sri Chaitanya Vishwaram. Hare Krishna. So today's verse says, Vasukala upadatte kale chayam vimunchati samas sarveshu bhuteshu pratapan suryavad vibhu. This King Pruthu will be as powerful as the sun god, and just as the sun god equally distributes his sunshine to everyone, King Pruthu will distribute his mercy equally. Similarly, just as the sun god evaporates water for 8 months and during the rainy season returns it profusely, this king will also exact taxes from the citizens and return these monies in times of need. So here in this chapter, in these specific verses, some tips for good governance of the country are given here. Yes, everything we get in Srimad Bhagavatam, all the ideal parameters and directions are given here through the lives of great personalities like Prithu Maharaj, Ambrish Maharaj, Yudhishthira Maharaj, Parikshit Maharaj, Shibi Maharaj, Rantidev Maharaj. So many wonderful kings in Bhagavatam have taught how Kshatriyas should rule the kingdom. And here in today's verse, especially how money should be utilized, spent, is told in this verse. So a very fitting analogy given here. Sun. Prithu Maharaj is compared to sun here. The sun evaporates water from all the water bodies across the world. For 8 months it keeps on drinking water through the oceans and evaporates all the water, and the water gets accumulated in the space, in the sky. And during the 4 months of rainy season, by the mercy of the sun, all the water is again given back in profuse quantity. Right? This year was a year of rain, so much rain everywhere, so much so that the crops got spoiled. So sun doesn't keep any water with itself. It takes water, drinks water, makes it into clouds, and again gives it back. Similarly, king also should not should take taxes. It's allowed for the king to take taxes, but he should not enjoy it. He should collect it, preserve it, at the right time, return it in the form of social welfare activities or spiritual welfare activities. So in this way, the king has to give it back to the citizens. Right? Srila Prabhupada says here that in Kali Yuga, what is happening? The kings collect taxes and the tax goes into the pocket. It doesn't come back to the citizens in the form of welfare activities. So that is the bad governance which is happening. Right? So much of tax is collected. Right? What is the current tax percentage probably? 18%? 20%? 30%. So 30% of the salary is TDS. Tuck. You don't even see it. Yeah. Huh? Above 15 lakhs, the tax is 30%. Below 15 lakhs? There is. I heard above 50 lakhs, it is 50% tax. Something like that. 10. So if you are earning that much, if you are earning 15 lakhs, 30% is going to the, you have to pay to the government. Because you are earning so much, and how much ever you are earning, that much percentage goes to the government. It's a big money. And the population is, right, how much billion? 1.3 or 1.4 billion of India. And everybody is paying tax. So can you imagine how many trillions of tax amount the government gets? Is collected as tax. Okay. Oh, okay. Only GST, 1.5 lakh crores. But other taxes also, no, TDS, service tax and all. So much money is going, but it also has to come back. Right? So we see that the government builds dams, they repair the roads, they put electric lines, right? And then they give water connections, water supply, they put water pipelines, they also give medical care. Government hospitals, they give free medicines. During COVID, they give free vaccinations. So in this way, it is supposed to come back. Of course, it is coming back. We don't deny that it's not coming. It's coming. But is everything coming? So that is the question. So in ideal governance, The kings were so selfless that they collect tax and then they utilize it properly without misusing it. So the tax revenues should be distributed to the citizens in times of need, during emergencies such as famine or food. Right? It had happened during the COVID. For 6 months, everybody got free rice and provisions from the government because nobody was going to work. Everybody was just sitting at home. So if everybody sitting at home, especially daily workers, those who get daily wages, they were in great difficulty because they earn on a daily basis, 500 rupees per day and then spend on a daily basis. They had difficulties. But those who had bank balance, they didn't have much difficulty. But for daily workers, it was trouble. So for all such people, government gave for 6 months rations. So that's a very good initiative. Right? Initially, vaccines were costly, but then it was made free, and everybody got free vaccination. So if the good governance is there, then good facilities are also got by the people. They release new trains, new buses, right? They make parks. So all these are the things the government should do, and even education also should be given, sponsoring students who cannot afford, right? So to give free and affordable education, that's also one of the duties of the government. Like in the olden days, all the gurukulas were patronized by the kings. Right? The gurukulas didn't have to struggle to survive. So they're all patronized by the kings, and kings used to allocate fixed amount of grains and food for them, and then the facilities for them. So they didn't have to struggle to teach. Even the gurus didn't have to struggle for teaching. Like Dronacharya, he went to the Kauravas and Kauravas adopted him as the teacher, right? Martial teacher. And everything was patronized by the kings. Bhishmadev, he said, yes, you are a teacher, so teach them. So all the facilities were provided by the Hastinapura government at that time. And Dronacharya just had to go and teach. He didn't have to worry how to feed these students, how to take care of them, medical care, this or that. And for in that Gurukul, other students also used to come, those who are qualified. They will also come and learn. And there are no fees Dronacharya charged for them, isn't it? Per student this much, 1,50,000 per semester. No. No. So he used to teach because all the other facilities are provided by the administration. He used to focus on teaching, quality teaching, without any worries. And after the education is complete, then the student, out of gratitude, will come and say, Guruji, what can I do for you? I want to give Guru Dakshina. Please tell me how can I serve you? So as per the capacity of the student, they used to return or they used to give some Dakshina to the teacher. Right? So in some cases, the Guru will specifically ask, do this favor to me, I am in need of this. Like Sandipuni Muni, he asked Krishna and Balaram for a Guru Dakshina. It was very difficult and impossible for any mortal man. Right? What was that Guru Dakshina? My sons are dead. Bring back my sons. So he went and got back the sons from the abode of Yamaraj. And Dronacharya also asked a very difficult Guru Dakshina from Pandavas. From Kurus, yes. He generally asked Kurus, but he knew that Arjuna is going to do it. He's the best student. He generally asked, what is Guru Dakshina? I want Drupada captured alive. Don't kill him, but capture him alive and bring him here. So it was general Dakshina requested for all the students. And the Kauravas were very confident. Hum karenge. Pandavas, tum piche hat jao. We will go and do. So Duryodhana and his team, they were very confident. I have Karna with me. I have my brothers with me. We'll go and capture Drupada and bring him like an animal. So they went and they thoroughly got thrashed by Drupada. They could not capture him. So then Arjuna and Yudhishthir Maharaj, Bhima, they all went. Then Arjuna captured Drupada Maharaj. Drupada got very impressed. Wow, such a powerful Kshatriya I have not seen. It will be nice if he becomes my son-in-law. Although he was defeated, he didn't feel humiliated. He felt, अच्छा आदमी है, इसको son-in-law बना दूंगा तो बहुत अच्छा रहेगा. He had this desire. Later he does yajna to get him as, get a daughter, who Draupadi. And Draupadi got married to Arjuna. Right? So the Kshatriya rasa is something different. Right? So they feel thrilled when they are fighting. And of course, anyway, here Dronacharya, he became the guru, and the whole thing was taken care by the administration. So, but nowadays you see the schools have to struggle for getting facilities, and they charge high fees. So one of the students is going to LKG, UKG, and I asked what is the fees of the school. And he said 2 lakh rupees per annum. For kindergarten, the fees is what? 2 lakh rupees. And I scratched my head. I did my whole engineering in 2 lakh rupees. Whole engineering finished, 4 years engineering, including hostel fees or into. But now it's so costly, right? So the family man, as soon as the child is born, they are thinking, कौन सा school में admission दे दें, क्या fees है, कहाँ पे जाएगा ये, because the fees is so high. And also are they teaching culture in those schools? No? All the kindergarten, they follow the Western model. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, ding, 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 Humpty Dumpty, this and that. They all teach that, no? They don't teach Namaste, Narsimhaya, they don't teach Bhagavad Gita shlokas, they don't teach all these things. You pay 2 lakh rupees to get the child slaughtered. Become Pakha atheist. Right? So the education system is costly, and also it is not teaching values and culture to the students. Right? So, and those schools and schools which are teaching culture, they are not able to afford, because good parents, they don't send their children. Only poor children are sent there. Poor children are going and they cannot even pay fees. Like some of the schools which we went, very good schools. Teachers are very good, and they have good vision of having spiritual education. They want to teach Bhagavad Gita. They want to make Sanskrit as compulsory in that colleges and schools. But the problem is, sir, namatra ella badur bartare, sir. All poor people are coming in our schools. They cannot even afford, and you are charging 200 rupees for this Bhagavad Gita. Some may register, but not all will be able to register. So this is the situation. And sometimes, and the school fees is 1,000 rupees per year. 1,000 rupees, maximum 2,000 rupees per year in those schools. And they have good vision, they are good teachers, they are very spiritual, but they don't have facilities. Right? On one side, the schools are there charging high money, but giving no culture, and making the children modern, atheistic. There are schools which want to teach culture, propagate Sanatana Dharma, but they are struggling for finances. Isn't it? So this is the paradox in the modern age. So how to solve this is a puzzle. How can we solve this problem? So this is possible if the rich people, capitalists, and the government, they patronize these schools by giving facility. Right? So one school I went, they said, sir, in our school you want to make... Ours is the only school in the city which is having Sanskrit as a language. Okay, Gulbarga, only one school is there which is having Sanskrit as a language. And but the problem is we are not getting a teacher, certainly. and not getting a teacher. And the one teacher who came, he was charging so high. He said, for 1 hour, you should give me 1,000 rupees. Right? Students are paying 1,000 for 1 year. We are not. How can we afford to pay you so much? Right? But so for many weeks, they didn't have a teacher. They didn't have classes. But then recently they found one teacher who was ready to teach for service and minimum fees as seva. So then they restarted. So our situation is so pathetic that we want to do this, we want to preserve our culture, but we are not able to get qualified teachers, nor we have finances to support this program. There's a problem. So what has to be done is we should, in all people who are having money, to engage in such service activities. Only then it is possible. See, money and intelligence both should come together. Right? Like Srila Prabhupada, he had no money, but the Western world had a lot of money. So Prabhupada utilized that when he preached there, the funds started flowing. Then he utilized it to build so many temples of Lord Krishna, print so many books, and distribute it back to the people. Right? So ISKCON is also doing fundraising. We also collect funds. Right? The funds which is collected, it is offered to Krishna,